Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Travel Week webinars. My name is Megan Griffith, and I am the Marketing and Production Specialist here with Travel Week. Today, we have a very exciting presentation for you all from Explore Georgia, where we're going to learn all about the unique destination. Before I introduce our panelists today, I'm just going to go over a couple of housekeeping items. Firstly, if you'd like to say hello, let us know where you're tuning in from, or if you're having any technical issues, please just use the chat box function for that. If you do have any questions that you'd like addressed by the end of the webinar, please use the question and answer box for that. And for agents who stay until the end of the webinar today, they will be entered to win an Explore Georgia swag bag to help you rep the South in all of its charm. So now we're going to get started introducing our speaker today, who is Amanda Peacock, International Marketing Manager. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on today.
Happy to be here. We ready to rock and roll?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, good to go.
Perfect. Well, thanks for having me again. I'm Amanda Peacock. I am the International Marketing Manager here at Explore Georgia, and looking forward to sharing for the next 30 or so minutes with you guys about our state. So today, I'm going to share with you 5 of the top reasons for a visit to Georgia. While it does sound cliche, there really is something for every type of traveler in each of these destinations that I'm going to preview today. From lush mountain adventures in North Georgia to big city vibes in Atlanta to one of the country's most beautiful historic riverside cities in Savannah and a pristine coastline along Georgia's Golden Isles. With some hidden gems added for good measure, the next 30 minutes will leave you eager to plan your trip south. So just to help us get our bearings about where we are, most of you are probably familiar, but Georgia is located in the southeastern portion of the United States. We are bordered by Tennessee and North Carolina to our north, South Carolina to our northeast, Florida to our south, and Alabama to the west. And just a couple of drive times from some of the major cities, from DC to Atlanta, just over 1,000 kilometers, from Nashville to Atlanta, just over 400 kilometers, from Savannah down to Orlando, 450 kilometers. And then just to hit on air service, we do have many airports within Georgia, the major one being Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta. With Delta right now, we have 2 daily flights between Montreal and Atlanta and 2 daily Toronto to Atlanta flights. With Air Canada, we have 3 daily Atlanta and Toronto flights and 2 weekly Montreal to Atlanta flights. We also have a seasonal flight with Air Canada to Savannah, which we hope will be returning in the very near future. I'm going to get us started off in the North Georgia mountains. The North Georgia mountains are home to many natural wonders, as you see in this image. They include beautiful waterfalls, canyons, and spacious places to get out and hike and take an adventure. For people who like adventure, also great places to relax and unwind. Pictured in this image is Brasstown Ball. This is in northeast Georgia, I'm sorry. This is Georgia's highest point. So actually from the top of Brasstown Ball on a clear day, like the one you see in the image, you will be able to see 4 states. So it is truly a beautiful place to visit. A fact that some may not know is that North Georgia is actually home to the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. So the trail begins near Amicalola State Park at Springer Mountain. And for people like me who may not be adventurous enough to hike 2,000 miles, you can hike a section of the AT on Springer Mountain Trail, which is about a 2-mile round trip trail there close to Amicalola Falls State Park. For a photo op like the one you see in this image, you can visit a place called Mountain Crossings at Neal Gap. Just a cool fact about this place, there's a historic building on site. It's called Mountain Crossings. It's actually an outdoor, an outfitter store now. It was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. And it was actually finished in 1937, which is the same year that the Appalachian Trail was complete. And this is the only spot where the Appalachian Trail actually goes through a building. So just a very cool fact that the one spot in the 2,100 plus miles that actually goes through a covered structure is right in North Georgia. For those who are seeking more excitement, there are also numerous fast-paced outdoor recreation options in North Georgia, from whitewater rafting to tubing to great fly fishing and some of the fastest zip lines that you can find. There is truly something for all excitement levels in Georgia. But for those like me who may want to just unwind in North Georgia, the North Georgia mountains are also home to numerous wineries and tasting rooms. So there's actually 2 American viticulture or AVA areas. So these are just recognized wine regions. There's 2 of those in North Georgia. And the vineyards, like the one pictured here at Yonah Mountains in beautiful Dahlonega, are beautiful and vary from quaint roadside tasting rooms to vast tasting rooms with dining options, from small bites to full-scale dining establishments. So kind of a hidden gem in the North Georgia mountains is that very special wine region, those very special wine regions. North Georgia is also home to many cool small towns. So small towns like the Alpine village of Helen, Georgia, are part of what makes the visitor experience in North Georgia. They're full of unique shop, restaurants, and attractions, also lodging options, special unique lodging options. These towns offer a retreat from the outdoor excitement or just another way to experience the mountains altogether. So another great small town in North Georgia is Clayton, Georgia in Northeast Georgia, and it's home to tons of great restaurants and shops. So I'm going to give you in each of these categories or each of these places I talk about, I'm going to give you an insider tip. So my insider tip for North Georgia is to be sure that you visit this fabulous store. They're actually in a new building now, but they still are. Wander North Georgia. It's just a really cool outdoor apparel. They have guides to the area. They have books. They have a little bit of everything, but they know North Georgia, the people that own this building, like the back of their hands. And they're just great advocates and spokespeople for all things North Georgia. So if you find yourself in Clayton, Georgia, you have to visit the fine folks at Wander. Moving on to our big city, Atlanta, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. Atlanta was recently recognized by Lonely Planet with the Best in Travel 2022 award, so we're really excited for them. You'll see in this aerial image why Atlanta is affectionately known as the city within the forest. You can tell Atlanta looks a little different from the sky than lots of cities do. So they have worked really hard to keep almost 48% of the metro area covered in trees. So they are celebrated for their conservation efforts on that part in the city of Atlanta. They also have numerous pedestrian and bike paths, which is another huge win for the city. The project you see here is the Atlanta Beltline. It's the most comprehensive revitalization project in town, and it really was meant to connect neighborhoods throughout Atlanta. So Atlanta is known for its great neighborhoods. Pictured here is the East Side Trail in Cabbagetown. Cabbagetown is a great place to enjoy public art in one of the neighborhoods right off Atlanta's Beltline. So the Beltline continues to transform the city of Atlanta as it offers connectivity between all the neighborhoods, attractions in different areas. So it's very easy as a tourist to come or as a visitor to come to Atlanta, get a hotel room, never have to get in your car, which is my favorite way to travel. Also known for its diverse and eclectic culinary landscape, Atlanta has dining options truly for every palate. From bustling food halls like the one pictured here, this one's called Politan Row, to the ever popular Krog Street Market, which also can easily be accessed on the Beltline, or Ponce City Market, which is a great renovated old Sears Roebuck building that also houses a fabulous food hall. There's also fine dining options with chef-led concepts and specialty cuisines like vegan-centered meals. So we promise you that we will not let you go hungry in the city of Atlanta or in Georgia in general. The civil rights history of the city of Atlanta is an important part of our story. The National Center for Civil and Human Rights is a great way to take in that history, and that's actually where this image is from. The Center for Civil and Human Rights tells the history of the civil rights journey in Georgia, in Atlanta, but civil rights all over the world. So just truly a fascinating place. Other can't miss sites when it comes to civil rights are the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site and Birth Home, which are both in another really cool neighborhood, the Sweet Auburn neighborhood. And my insider tip here is to take a tour with my friends at ATL Cruisers. They offer tours on segways if you're feeling ultra adventuresome, or in an electric car. And they'll take you into all these neighborhoods and really tell you the stories of the people and the history in the neighborhoods. Another great element in Atlanta is the city's inclusivity. So thriving Black and LGBTQ communities celebrate the diversity of the area and its progressive role in the region, appealing to all types of travelers. This great image is in front of the fabulous Fox Theater on Peachtree Street, and this is from Atlanta's Pride Festival, which draws visitors from near and far, but they do a fantastic job. As the birthplace of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Atlanta truly, as a destination, continues to play an important role in advancing civil and human rights across the globe. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of our top-notch downtown attractions that are a little more well-known, like the Georgia Aquarium pictured here, the World of Coca-Cola, which no matter how old you are, if you haven't been, you have to go to the World of Coke. It's just such a fun, great place to visit. And as I mentioned, the Atlanta Center for Civil and Human Rights. So all of these attractions are right within a walking distance from each other in downtown. Also not to be missed, which is right here in the same area, is Atlanta's Centennial Park, which is a 22-acre green space that serves as the legacy to the '96 Olympics. So I could not mention all the recent hotel developments that have happened in Atlanta over the past few years. I know a lot of things have been different, have been really slow over the past few years, but Atlanta has had a ton of new hotel development or hotel redevelopment. The city's just seen a huge surge, like I said, in the past few years. Pictured here is the Wiley Hotel. It's a redevelopment project right off the Beltline in the old 4th Ward neighborhood. So it's a super cool area of Atlanta. It is, again, steps off the Beltline, and it's an easy walk to Ponce City Market that I mentioned, or the Atlanta Illuminarium, which is a great new attraction, and other great gems as well. So no short supply and places to lay your head at night in Atlanta. So moving on down the coast a little ways, down south to Savannah. Savannah is routinely ranked in the top 10 places to visit in the USA. Savannah is a small city with big, diverse communities. They've done a fantastic job of blending the best of the old and the new in arts, music, and history. Savannah truly does epitomize the South and is one of the greenest, most pedestrian-friendly cities in the USA. And I love that. That's a great aerial shot of the city of Savannah. It truly is a gem. It's truly beautiful. One of the best ways to take in Savannah, at least to get your bearings and get started, is to take a historic trolley tour. You can get a bird's eye view of the city and of the historic district and what there is to do there, and then take a stroll at your leisure in this charming city. So there's several different trolley companies in the historic district, and they all do a fantastic job of telling you the history of the area. Savannah is really known for its squares and parks. So within Savannah's historic landmark district and the Victorian district, the squares and parks are truly some of the most beloved icons. Originally designed with 24 squares, there are 22 that remain today. And this one is one of my favorite and one of the most picturesque and probably one of the most photographed places in Savannah. This is Forsyth Fountain within Forsyth Park. So also, if anybody's ever seen Forrest Gump was filmed in Savannah. The bench scene is in Chippewa Square. So it's a very popular square or park for people to visit also. Again, we will not let you go hungry in Savannah. Savannah is really also well known for its immense dining scene. You won't have to travel very far around the historic district to find numerous cafes and eateries, from quick bite spot like the Gray Market that I've pictured here, to its big sister restaurant, the Gray Restaurant, which is housed inside of an old Greyhound station and is just a fantastic restaurant. You definitely won't go hungry in Savannah either. So lots of walking to earn all those delicious meals that you're going to have while you're there. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't say that Savannah is an open container city. So in the historic district downtown, you can also stroll around with your cocktail, which is a nice addition as well. So another great new development project in Savannah that can't be missed. This is the Plant Riverside District. It is located on the ever popular River Street alongside the Savannah River. It is anchored by a really cool JW Marriott, but there are also tons of shopping, dining, and lodging options right within this entertainment district. Live music, several rooftop restaurants and bars, so all kinds of great places to visit within the Point Riverside district. I mentioned the neighborhoods and different communities of Savannah. Another notable neighborhood is the Starland District. So you see here that this is a super artsy and eclectic area. This artsy neighborhood was actually dreamed up in the late 1900s by two SCAD students. So Savannah is home to the Savannah College of Art and Design that we all call SCAD. Creativity really fuels this community, as you can see from those fun steps and all the artwork. There are fun and funky shops and galleries that are now they're thriving in what's rundown buildings. So it's really seen a wonderful rehabilitation in this area. There's great places to shop for vintage clothing, vinyl records, and original art, as well as quirky cafes and eateries. Again, more food. We'll feed you a lot while you're here. So Savannah also has a beach. So this is Tybee Island, Savannah's beach, located just 20 minutes from downtown Savannah. As pictured here, this quaint beach town truly offers a getaway for travelers. And some must-see attractions are the Tybee Island Light Station and Museum and the Tybee Island Marine Science Center. So they both are really great attractions. The Tybee Island Marine Science Center really is awesome to help teach people about the ecology and the wildlife in the area and the marine life in the area. And then my insider tip for the area, for the Savannah area, is to visit the Tybee Island Crab Shack at Chimney Creek. Obviously, you can tell from this picture, the Georgia seafood looks delicious, but the environment, the atmosphere is truly awesome as well. So moving on to our beautiful coastline, nestled between the Georgia coast, midway between Savannah and Jacksonville, Florida, are four beautiful barrier islands. They are St. Simon's Island, which is pictured here, Sea Island, Jekyll Island, Little St. Simon's, and then the mainland city of historic Brunswick. This area is known as Georgia's Golden Isles. Each island offers a truly different visitor experience, and they can be visited separately or as part of a combined trip. And I'm going to go into a little more detail about each of them for you. So this is beautiful Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island is Georgia's state park island. So the whole island is property of the state of Georgia, and it is celebrating its 75th anniversary as a state park this year. Jekyll is known for iconic sites like Driftwood Beach. Driftwood Beach is beautiful. You see the driftwood here, and it's all over this section of the beach, the petrified wood. So it's truly an iconic place to visit. It's very picturesque and obviously very highly photographed as well. Another iconic spot on Jekyll Island is the Jekyll Island Club Hotel, which is pictured here. The historic Jekyll Island Club Hotel is only part of the timeless Jekyll Island Historic District. So in the late 1800s, Jekyll Island became an exclusive hunting club for families with names like the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Vanderbilts, Pulitzers, all names that you will recognize. The once private retreat is now part of the Jekyll Island Club National Historic Landmark District, which is one of the largest preservation projects in the Southeast. You can visit the Jekyll Island Historic Museum, Mosaic, and it will teach you all about the history of this magical island. And I have to tell people every time I talk about Jekyll, I mean, it truly is one of the most fascinating places that you've ever been. You can see in the background of that picture, one of the large oak trees draped in the moss that's just beautiful. That's everywhere. And truly is just one of the most fascinating and beautiful places you have to visit if you haven't been. Can't wait to hear if anybody's been. Next up, a little bit more about St. Simon. So St. Simon's Island is the largest of the barrier island on the Golden Isles. It's known more for its great dining and lodging, as well as shopping offerings and beautiful beaches. So the first slide again was the beach of St. Simon's Island. Pictured here is the Pier Village. So this is right at the St. Simon's Pier, where there are a ton of shops, eateries, and places to stay. So many lodging options. This bustling area is really a fun place for travelers of all ages. I mentioned the mainland port city of Brunswick. So it is laid out in a formal grid system similar to Savannah's with city streets and squares. You can see the shrimp boats coming into port, unloading at the docks along Bay Street, and then you can catch a sample of the wild Georgia shrimp that day in one of the restaurants in their downtown. In this image, I'm showing Silver Bluff Brewery. So the downtown area of Brunswick has undergone a super extensive redevelopment over the past few years. And this is one of the great preservation projects that has been an outcome of that. So if you make it to Brunswick, Silver Bluff Brewery is a can't miss stop downtown. So Little St. Simons Island. Little St. Simons is one of the other islands. It's accessible only by boat from the Hampton River Marina on St. Simons Island. It is a privately owned 11,000 acre barrier island resort. It's known for its privacy. The lodge on Little St. Simons Island features 6 charming cottages, one of which you see here. Several of them date back to the early 1900s. It is a really cool place. They have naturalist-led activities and education that are a huge part of the experience on Little St. Simons. They also, it's an all-inclusive resort, the island is, and they prepare all your meals on site. Lots of the meals are grown right there in their garden. So it's a super cool experience there on Little St. Simons, and somewhere that you will learn a ton again about the ecology of the coast. There's some fascinating people that work there that know so much about the flora and the fauna of the Georgia coast. And lastly, for the coast is Sea Island. So if you're truly looking for a luxury experience, this is where you go. Reached by a causeway from St. Simons Island, Sea Island is an internationally acclaimed resort. The Sea Island Company features 2 of the world's most exceptional destinations, the Forbes 5-star Cloister, which is pictured here, and the Lodge at Sea Island, which is a Forbes 5-star and AAA 5-diamond property. So luxury is their name and their game. There's great golf here. One of the best spas I've ever seen is at the Sea Island, at the Cloister at Sea Island. And we just have to say that Sea Island is the only resort in the world to achieve 4 Forbes 5 stars 13 years in a row. That's a mouthful, but it's also a great accolade. So if you're looking for somewhere to splurge and do something a little luxurious, I would always recommend Sea Island. And my insider tip for the Georgia coast, this is one of my favorite places. My insider tip is to catch a happy hour sunset at the Wharf. The Wharf is a restaurant located in the historic district of Jekyll Island. So you can't see the restaurant in this image, but you can see the beautiful view at the docks right at the restaurant. And then moving on finally to a couple of hidden gems about Georgia. So this is Providence Canyon State Park, which is known as Georgia's Little Grand Canyon. And I think you can tell from the picture why the name is so fitting. It is an amazing natural wonder in Georgia, and it's a testament to the power of man's influence on the land. So these massive gullies like the one you see here were caused simply by poor farming practices in the 1800s. Yet today they make some of the prettiest photographs within the state. There are great hiking opportunities for different levels here. And this is a truly must-see site in Georgia too. So this is located on the western side of the state in a small town called Lumpkin that's very close to Columbus, Georgia. So really close over to the Alabama line. Speaking of Columbus, Georgia is home to the longest urban whitewater course in North America. So you can actually raft 1 to 3 class rapids down the Chattahoochee River right here in Columbus, Georgia. Basically, you're in a downtown area where there's tons of hotels and dining options, and you look over and you can whitewater raft right there. It's truly amazing, and it's a great experience. You can even zip line across the river from Georgia all the way to Alabama. So really just from one side of the river to the other, you leave Columbus, Georgia, and you end up in Alabama on the other side of the river. So super cool, super cool. We're super happy to have Columbus and Columbus Whitewater as a part of the Georgia experience. And then pictured here, one of my favorite places also, this is the Okefenokee Swamp. Maybe some of y'all have heard of it. It is the largest blackwater swamp in North America. You don't see any wildlife in this image, but I guarantee you if you take a trip to the Okefenokee Swamp, you're going to see alligators, you're going to see birds, you're likely going to see deer, raccoon, maybe some black bears. So if you're interested in nature at all, it's truly a fascinating place. There are 3 major entrances and 2 secondary entrances to experience the Okefenokee Swamp. So you can have several different experiences seeing the Okefenokee Swamp, depending on what you're looking for. Obviously, you can tour in a kayak or canoe. There's some on-land experiences, and there's also some guided boat tours. So a very fascinating natural wonder in Georgia. And then another coastal destination that's another one of my favorites. This is the Cumberland Island National Seashore. It is the largest and southernmost barrier island in Georgia, offering guests more than 17 miles of secluded white sandy beaches. Wild horses, as you see in this image, and other island wildlife roam freely throughout the ruins and along the beach. So this actually has, this is the Carnegie, glimpses of the Carnegie lifestyle can be seen throughout the ruins. This is Dungeness ruins that you see where the horses are. Again, it's the ruins of a beautiful mansion that was once there, and it's still beautiful. It's a super cool place and special place. Cumberland is accessible only by ferry. So reservations for the 45-minute ferry ride are recommended. You'll board the ferry to Cumberland in St. Mary's, Georgia, which is a historic small coastal town located on our coast between Jacksonville, Florida and Brunswick, Georgia. So it's a great place to visit. It's a great day trip. It is also a great place to go camp. Preferably, we can talk about that some more, but in the spring and the fall is what I would recommend. But you can camp there, or there is one super nice property on the island called the Grayfield Inn. So another kind of luxury property there on Cumberland Island. And then my last hidden gem, or something I just have to give a nod to, is the small towns of Georgia. So Georgia's dotted with really spectacular small towns all across its state. One not to miss example, and the one I've pictured here, is Thomasville, Georgia. So Thomasville is located in the southwest corner of the state. It's about 20 miles above the Florida line, about 40 minutes from Tallahassee, Florida. It has been named a Great American Main Street City for years for its excellent efforts in downtown revitalization. The quaint shops and diverse and eclectic food scene in Thomasville are just amazing. It's just one of those downtowns that you can't imagine how great it is until you visit it and see it yourself. And with that, my last insider tip is, if you make it to Thomasville, Georgia, you have to visit the artisan cheese shop, Sweetgrass Dairy. Again, what small town in Georgia would think that they have such a great gem like this? But you have to visit Sweetgrass Dairy, have the taste of Thomasville cheese board, and I promise you'll be back again. With that, that is my presentation.
Thank you so much, Amanda. That was a great presentation. Great to see all that Georgia offers, all the amazing experiences.
Have you got some ideas for your trip?
Exactly. That's where I'm next planning to go. So I have it all listed there. All right. So we have just a couple of questions to go over. The first one we have is from Robin, and she said, in Atlanta, you mentioned Cabbagetown. Where did it get its name from?
I actually don't know the history of the name of Cabbagetown, Robin. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, okay.
I believe Cabbagetown was a mill town. Well, I know Cabbagetown was a mill town. Like that's what it was. That was what it was originally developed around, was a mill as an industry. So it likely has something to do with the name of the mill. But actually, there's lodging and housing in the renovated mill. It's just a super cool area. It's like one of the little funky neighborhoods with great public art. So good one, Robin. I'll find out the answer to that and make sure I have your email address and send it to you. But I would have a feeling that it had something to do with the name of the mill that was there.
All right. So next question. I know you gave us a lot of insider tips, which is amazing. But what would you say is the top must-see tip, must-see attraction? What would you recommend?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones, but I have a really soft spot in my heart for Jekyll Island. I think it is, it's just a different beach vibe and feel than most beaches that people are used to. So there's not a traffic light on the island. You can easily get anywhere very safely on your bike, and that historic district, y'all, it's just one of the most beautiful places that you've ever experienced. So, but there's so many.
Yeah, of course. It looked like
so many good ones.
Yeah, exactly. Next question. If agents, need more information or just want to find out more or reach out to someone, where can you direct them to?
So our website is www.exploregeorgia, Georgia spelled out, .org, and there's tons of great information there. And then my email address is Peacock, like the bird, PEACOCK @georgia.org. And I'll make sure, I think Megan will send that out also.
Yeah, we'll make sure to have that on our Travelweek Learning Center, as well as our new Brand USA and Travelweek microsite you guys can check out, which has a lot of additional information on Georgia as well. I know we recently announced, our federal government announced that they're dropping the pre-arrival COVID testing for vaccinated travelers back into Canada. So for those who'd like to fly to Georgia and maybe make a road trip of it, do you think that's something that would be, an exciting opportunity for those to take, or what would you say in terms of that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if you're flying into Atlanta, it's an easy road trip. And I think the roads in Georgia are actually great. We're lucky that we do really have a good road system. And so I think there's several ways you can do it to do a really big loop and see as much or as little of the state as you wanted to.
Good. Robin also wants to know, what is the nicest time of year to visit Savannah without too much heat?
So I definitely think, spring and fall are our golden children as far as staying away from the heat. So especially for you guys, because y'all aren't used to it and it's hot. It gets pretty hot. So yeah, spring and fall, it's the best.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. And yeah, so make sure, agents, if you have any additional questions, put those down. All I'm seeing now is just a bunch of great presentation. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
So I guess I'll leave you kind of with the final word, what you'd like to say to agents, really inspire them, give them just the final come to Georgia.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, I think you guys saw from my presentation. I know lots of states say they have something for everybody, but I really feel like in Georgia, we have a little bit of everything. Like I showed you guys, the small towns, the beautiful coast that's just, a beautifully protected coast, the big city, the city of Savannah, the coastal city of Savannah. I just think between that and the mountains, we really do have something for everyone. So come see us.
I know I for sure will. So
we look forward to hosting you.
Thank you so much. So agents, check out your email for the winner who will be chosen for the Explore Georgia swag bag that we're offering up today. Stay tuned for more webinars we have coming up, and check out travelweek.ca for all sorts of news we have upcoming on Georgia. So thank you again, Amanda.
Thanks, y'all. It's great to see everybody.
Have a good one.